I'm actually quite surprised by that. Oh god, I'm so scared. Yeah, this is what happens when you squeeze a spot and then put fake tan on your face. Kind of just looks like I've got a patch of tomato sauce. But that is besides the point, it's totally fine. Today, I'm going to be testing Tati Beauty's Blendiful. Is that what it's called? Where have I even put it? Yes, that is what it's called. I've got it right here. So if you don't know who Tati is, she is an American YouTuber. She's amazing. I really like her videos. She has her own makeup brand and I tested her palette, which was the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette. If you haven't seen that video, it ended up being one of my favorite palettes ever. So I've got pretty high hopes for these little Blendifuls. So I didn't actually order this on the launch date because I was a bit behind and I missed the video. And then I started getting quite a few comments and tweets saying, will you test it? So I thought I would go on the website and order it. So that's what I did. In this packet, you get one Blendiful, which is this thing right here. And then you get a baby Blendiful, which is a little heart shape, which I think is really cute. Not sure if this plastic packaging is recyclable, but her brand is cruelty free and vegan. So let me just get up how much this cost. So for both of these two in the packet, it was $18. Shipping was $9.95 and then taxes were $5.59. So overall my order came to $33.54 US dollars, obviously, which in pounds is £25.60, which I mean is pretty pricey. I know that beauty blenders are quite expensive and you do get like two little things and you can wash them and everything, so we'll see. We'll see if they're worth the money. If there are any other makeup launches that you've seen recently or are coming out that you want me to test, please let me know down below because I'm always reading your guys' suggestions. Also, while you're at it, it would be great if you could give this a thumbs up because I think it does something positive with my videos and YouTube's algorithm, and that would be really helpful. Let's do this. So I did watch Tati's video and these are supposed to be kind of multi-purpose. Well, this big one in particular is supposed to be a multi-purpose blending tool for your makeup, which you can apply primer, foundation, concealer, liquid bronzer, blush, liquid highlight, basically, oh, and powder as well. Pretty much it's supposed to do your whole face. So the idea is that you can bend this, you can, you know, change it into different shapes for different type of blending. You can use both sides by flipping over the ribbon, which I think is great. It says that you can machine wash these. However, I'm a little bit apprehensive to do that because when I do that with my face halo, excuse me, when I've done that with my face halos, I find that the washing powder and then using it on my face irritates my skin a little bit. So I think I will be hand washing this in the sink with just like a little bit of soap. And then this little mini one right here, this is supposed to be for touch-ups, and she said that you don't even need to apply any product to it. This one feels a little bit like fluffier than this one. The materials feel slightly different. This one's a little bit softer, but this one is supposed to be good for touching up your makeup throughout the day. You can kind of pat out your skin. For me, I would probably use this to smooth out my smile lines, although usually, I'm not gonna lie, I just use my finger and just do this throughout the day. So, oh, also I upgraded my earrings. How cool does my ear look now? All of these lobe ones are from a brand called New Hoops, like N-U-E Hoops, if anyone's curious. And my necklaces are from my Skinny Dip range, but I think these are now completely gone. There might still be some left, I'll link them down below. So normally I would always apply my primer with my fingers, but in Tati's video she did say that if you're using a pore filling primer, it gets all in between the little fibres and then you can press it into your face. So I'm going to give that a go. To be honest, I got rid of most of my pore filling primers. This is the Benefit Professional Pearl Primer, which I'm going to be using today. So, oh, I'm putting a little bit of primer on there. I'm going to swipe a bit on to my face and then really kind of swipe and press. Okay, so immediately I'm noticing that most of that was kind of taken up in the middle section of my face, and it feels like there's not really much left on here. Because I was going to say the main reason that I apply my primer with my hands is because I find that a sponge kind of eats it up a bit too much. Not like literally eats it, but it absorbs a lot of the product. And I kind of feel like this did the same. It feels really nice on your skin though, it's really, really soft. But I honestly feel like my primer would have gone on the same and probably spread a little bit more if I was just using my fingers. Finally got myself a new Revlon Colorstay. My other one was, I literally scraped the last little bit out. I'm now using the shade 240, which I think is the one shade down. So what I'm going to do, so that I get the correct amount, I usually do like a pump and a half. I'm going to spread it with my fingers, which I know kind of defeats the point, but whatever. I kind of want to like press. Ooh. Okay, so for this left side of my face, I'm just going to be pressing in the product like that. To be fair, that looks pretty nice. And then on this side, I'm gonna swipe like this. Okay, I think for the whole kind of swiping motion, you can sort of see the swipe marks. So I'm gonna press over that as well. The area around my eyes at the moment is so dry. Okay. Let's keep going. So far, I do feel like it's blending pretty well, but let me just show you up close as an example. I'm not sure how well you can see on my nose there. Like, let's try and do my forehead. So if you swipe it like this, you can kind of see the little swiping marks. And then same when you blend it, I feel like you can still see a little bit of the swiping marks. But yeah, I feel like it's taking just a little bit longer to blend it out on my beauty blender because it's not instantly smooth. I feel like my face isn't quite looking as smooth and flawless as when I do it with a beauty blender. I mean, it does look nice, but on my forehead especially, it looks a little bit kind of textured. Okay, we'll go on to concealer, and I'm also going to do like all cream products as well to see how it works. Going in with my Maybelline Eraser Under Eye, whatever this is called. Let's flip it over and use the other side, which is clean. Ooh, okay, that blended out really fast. Yeah, that's actually really quick, look at that. But yeah, again, I feel like it's definitely taking away more coverage, because normally with my concealer, I would have enough left on my beauty blender to then go over my eyelids and completely cover them. But I feel like not much of the product actually, you know, is transferable. It just kind of blends it out where you've put the concealer rather than picking up product and then being able to add a bit more elsewhere. Does that make any sense? I'm not too sure what I think about this for foundation and concealer, because it definitely does not look as smooth as when I use my beauty blender. We will keep going. I'm going to use my Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick to contour my face. This could be really difficult with that spot right there. I feel like that is going to be an issue. Oh, that was a bit of a wonky nose contour. Right, for this, I'm just going to go back in with the side that I used for my foundation, because I'm hoping that that will kind of help to blend it out. Not too bad, but yeah, it's really sticking to that spot. Oh god. On this side, I'm gonna go in with the clean bit and I'm gonna swipe it more. Okay, no, maybe I'm not, because that looks like it's completely taking the coverage of my foundation off. Okay, I've done that one a bit too low down, but I am gonna bake in a minute, which I don't normally do, but I'm gonna do it for the purpose of this video. Okay, it definitely looked smoother when I used the part of it which already had foundation on, because I feel like that blends everything together more seamlessly. I don't know why I just contoured under my lip, because I don't normally do that. So for my nose, I'm really like folding it in half. So let me just turn the brightness down a little bit. Okay, this spot is literally just gripping to all of that cream contour, so that is not okay, but that is not the product's fault. That is literally just my dry patch of skin. So it does look pretty smooth. Actually, that does not look pretty smooth. On this side, initially I went in with the swiping motion and that just lifted most of my foundation underneath. So I definitely would not do that. I find it works a lot better to press it. Next, I'm taking a cream highlight. This one is by Florence by Mills. Oh! Did you see that? The thing just fell out. Also, I'm very aware that I just said cream highlight. This is the cream blush. I genuinely think they've forgotten to put the glue on this, because there is no glue in here. Like, it just falls out. This is the colour Glowing G, and I don't usually get on with cream blushes. I'm folding it up to a different side, so you really can use kind of every side of this. Okay, you know what? That did not work. I'm just going to dip it straight into the product. Oh no, that was too much. Hey! Oh no, that was way too much on here. This side of my face is kind of just a mess and I'm blaming this spot. But I'm actually quite surprised by that. Just adding a little bit more to this. Oh god, a little bit more? Yeah, that's more than a little bit. That actually did a really good job with cream blush at really pressing it into my skin and kind of meshing it with the rest of my makeup. What do you guys think? I think that worked out pretty nicely. Obviously I haven't powdered my face yet. I'm gonna do that in a minute. I'm quite impressed that my concealer hasn't creased yet. Before I go in with highlight, I am just gonna set my under eyes. For this, I'm gonna flip the sponge over like that. Let's use one of the corners. I never use a powder puff or anything to set my face. So I'm taking my Fenty Beauty powder. Oh god, I'm so scared. And oh god, I'm just pressing that into my skin. Ooh, take a little bit onto my eyelids. Okay, yeah, I've definitely picked up a bit too much powder. You know what? That feels so much better than putting it on with a beauty blender. I feel like a beauty blender just picks up too much product and makes my under eyes feel really dry, but this feels nice. Didn't put too much of a thick layer on, and because it's soft and kind of bristly, you can almost use it. It's like a hybrid between a brush and a beauty blender for putting your powder under your eyes. It doesn't feel dry at all, whereas when I bake with a sponge, I find that my under eyes just feel like they're about to crack. Okay, I'm also just gonna take some of this, quite a lot of this, on the puff, and I'm just gonna bake under my contour. I never normally bake, but I think today I need help. I've taken a little bit more. I'm just gonna press that into my forehead, smooth, a bit on my chin, the smile lines. I'm now gonna move on to liquid / cream highlighter. I've got a couple different options and I might try a few of them. So I have these Beauty Bay, maybe not. Okay, well that has completely dried up and cracked. What? I've literally used this once. The lid was on properly. I haven't had it that long, maybe like 6 months. Okay, well I guess those are ruled out. A much more expensive version, which I don't think has solidified. Nope, thank God. This is the Farsali Jelly Highlighter, Jelly Beam Highlighter in Glazed. And I also have a liquid highlighter. This is the L'Oreal Glow Mon Amour highlighter. I'm very interested to see how this is gonna work. This has been sitting for long enough. Right, so I'm taking an unused corner of the other side. I'm taking a tiny bit of this liquid highlight and moment of truth. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's do a tiny bit on the brow bone. You know what? That has blended a lot better than any other time I've tried to blend liquid highlight. I'm kind of impressed. I'm not going to speak too soon because I haven't tried my nose yet, but I am now going to try the Farsali one, the jelly one. With this, what I think I'm going to do is dip into the actual product and then blend that in. Ooh, interesting. That side didn't work as well. It's kind of just stuck in chunks of where the bristles picked it up. Try and add a little bit more. So hopefully you can see here, it's kind of stuck together in little like clumps, which was where the hairs picked it up. It kind of just printed it on like that. That side didn't blend as well. This side blended beautifully though with the liquid one. I feel like this video is the biggest mixed opinion ever. Take some of this on my brow bone. I'm gonna take some of the liquid highlighter down my nose, seeing as though I can never get this to work. A really small amount. A little bit of clean sponge. Better than previous times when I've tried to use a beauty blender, but I still feel like the tip of my nose is still a little bit patchy. Let's try adding a little bit more. Oh god, no, there's too much. But to be fair, that did work a lot better than other attempts. You know what, I'm just gonna go over this side of highlighter with the liquid because it's annoying me. Even though this is working well for liquid highlight, I still don't think it's convinced me enough to use liquid highlight because it takes like 5 times as long trying to blend it out than just getting a brush with a powder and just going do 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 do. So I'm gonna take some more of my loose powder and I'm just gonna fix my nose. The problem I have with liquid products is that I always need to set my face afterwards because I'm so oily. Like if I don't set my cheeks right now, they're gonna be an oily mess. But then when I do set them, it kind of just takes away all of the product. Oh god, what have I actually done here? The moral of the story is just don't bake when you don't know how to bake, because that was pointless. So I think that is all the products that I can use the Blendiful for. I'm definitely not more happy with my face like this than I am with my normal routine. I'm gonna go finish off my makeup routine and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. Right, so I've now done the rest of my makeup. I did have to use some powder products just to touch up my bronzer, a little bit of blush and my highlight, because the cream products just weren't doing it fully for me. So my overall conclusion on this is, I mean, it was very mixed. I'm not the biggest fan of it for like foundation and concealer. The things that I was a fan of it for were cream blush, liquid highlighter, and also face powder, because I feel like it really pushed the powder into my face, kind of like how a powder puff would. It's pretty much like a giant powder puff. That being said, I do think maybe it would work better if you are more used to using cream products and you prefer cream products and liquid products to powders. Whereas for me, because I'm such a like powder product type of girl, yes, I do like occasionally dabble in liquid products, but it's not like my everyday makeup routine, so I don't think I could see myself using this every single day. And for the price that I paid of it, I do think it is expensive, like for what it is, because to be honest, for this little one as well, like yes, it might be good at kind of blending out smile lines and touching up throughout the day with a little bit of powder maybe, but I'm sure a powder puff would be able to do the exact same job, and you can get a pack of those for like £1. But I do think it is really cool that Tati has done something new. She's done something sustainable, because like I said, you can put this in the washing machine, you can wash it, reuse it again and again and again. But yeah, not so sure it's worth like £25. Right, I'm just gonna answer a question of the day as I do in most of my videos. If you guys have got any questions for me, please leave them down below with the hashtag question of the day. Today's question comes from Francesca Burgess, and she has said, would you ever consider making your own brand? If so, what would it be called and what would be your first launch? PS, I love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so I have definitely thought about this. I don't think, if I was to make my own brand, I don't think I would do a makeup product. I may consider doing like makeup brushes, or you know, something similar to these kind of things, like makeup tools in general is what I'm trying to say, or makeup bags or something to do with beauty as like an accessory rather than the actual products, because I feel like trying to get the formula down for an actual makeup product is really difficult. I don't know, clothing I would branch into, but then there's also so many like clothing things that have already been done. Maybe something along the kind of sustainable sort of side of things, like a product that could help people be more sustainable and eco-friendly. I don't know, we'll see, I guess. Watch this space. Right, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, that would really help me out. If you aren't already subscribed and you want to see me test some more stuff, then hit that subscribe button, turn my notifications on, and yeah, I hope you guys are all really good. I hope you're having a good weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.